welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how to grow your peach, your booty, your glutes, all that stuff. So tip number 1 that I have for you guys is glute activation. And basically what glute activation is adding 1 to 2 exercises in your warm-up and your stretching before you work out on your leg day. And what this does is really develop that mind-muscle connection with your glutes, and during your workout you're going to feel the burn so much more. You're going to feel that your glutes are more engaged, and overall you're working them harder and better. So overall it's a win-win situation. Usually what I do is 4 sets of 25 glute bridges, simple body weight, 100 reps, really lets me focus on the squeeze, activating them, getting them ready to be literally killed in the workout. So overall, and I think it'll help you guys a lot. So on to tip number 2. Alright, so tip number 2 that I have for you guys is resistance training. And basically if you're trying to add size to any of your muscles, you need to be using some form of resistance. While body weight exercises are really good for developing your form, maybe your flexibility, all that stuff, after a while that's not going to be enough resistance to continually break down those muscle fibers. So adding any form of resistance, whether it be weights or a resistance band or maybe a milk jug or just any object that's heavy, overall that is what is going to get those muscle fibers broken down. So very important. So yeah, on to step number 3. Alright, so step number 3 is going to be to squeeze at the top of every single movement that you do. So whether it be squats, deadlifts, lunges, hip thrusters, anything, what you're going to want to do is squeeze your glutes at the top of the movement. You can do squats and you can come back to the top and you're not squeezing your glutes. Yeah, you're going to be working your quads, maybe your hamstrings, but you're not really going to be engaging your glutes, which is obviously what you want if you're trying to grow them. So be sure to squeeze at the top of literally every single movement. That's also why we do glute activation, because then your glutes are ready to be squeezed at the top of the movement. So yeah, and if you're not doing that, then you're probably not going to see much growth. Alright, so step number 4 is going to be to keep a variety of compound movements and isolation movements in your workouts. And the difference between the two is that compound movements are going to be your squats, deadlifts, bench. And what those do is recruit way more muscle groups than isolation exercises do. Those are really good for, immediately gaining strength, gaining mass. And, overall, for example, if you have a deadlift, that's going to be working your entire posterior chain. Your glutes, your hamstrings, maybe not really your quads, but kind of, your back. And so that's going to be the main focus. So you're tearing down so many more muscle fibers that way. So kind of instant growth is not instant, but better growth is going to happen immediately. Whereas isolation exercises are really good for focusing on a specific muscle. For example, with glutes, you could do hip abductors, you could do hip thrusts, you could do lunges, although lunges kind of are more of a compound in a way. But anyways, so they're both really good. They're both completely different from each other, but be sure to keep an equal variety of them, and definitely learn those compound movements when you're first starting off, because that's what's going to help you so much. So, okay, so the last tip that I have for you guys is to eat. And if you're trying to gain size in any muscle, any area of your body, you're going to need to be eating in a caloric surplus. And what this means is that you're eating more food than you're burning. And this is going to help build back the muscle fibers that you tear down during your workout. And this is so important to see actual growth in your glutes. So don't neglect the protein, get lots of that in, focus on your carbs. Definitely do not neglect carbs, because you need those. You need energy, it's going to make your workouts better, all of that stuff. So definitely don't forget those too. And obviously fats are important too. So do not forget to eat. Don't be afraid to eat. I know it can be really scary. And if you need help and you're confused about it, literally just ask anyone, any coach, anyone for help. And there's also a lot of websites out there that you can refer to get your macros, which are basically, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat do you need per day based on your goals. And so yeah, so definitely do not forget to eat. That is probably the most important thing of everything, because if you're just tearing down your muscle fibers and you're not building them back up, you're not going to see any progression whatsoever. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back soon with another video. Tip number 4 of